Let's see if anybody jumps in here. Just waiting for a couple people to jump in, guys. I had to restart the stream. Sorry. Hey, Rock, what's that? GTSY? Gutsy? Gitsy? Or did you misspell it? Nice. Good to see. I'm not all hip on all that. It's showing 0 people in the live stream here. So obviously you're in it. I'm in it. It's still showing 0. I wonder how many other people are in here that aren't showing. Kind of weird. It looks good though. It's not. Hey, there's somebody. Okay, people are popping in now. We're going to give them a couple minutes, guys. This sucks when that happens. I don't know what the hell went on. It's been so good the last God knows how many live streams. I haven't had any problems since I got this new internet, whatever the hell it's called. It's what's his name that flew the spaceship up into the atmosphere. What the hell was his name? It's Starlink. So it's by the guy that owns the electric car company. What's his name? Well, I'm glad it's better. So you give it a couple more minutes or a minute or two to get some people in here and back. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it doesn't do it again. If it becomes a nightmare, I'll just cancel for the night. But I was going to go on last week, and we had some serious storms here. And right as I was about to put the notification out of the live stream, we lost power here. And power was out for, oh, God, a long time. We normally, if there's a storm, it comes back on sometimes within seconds, other times 15 minutes. But we had like 80-mile-an-hour winds, and it knocked down it broke about 50 feet off of a big pine tree, and it came down, took the power line out across the road, and we lost power. We were out until like 11 o'clock the next day, had to get the generator up and running. It was hotter than hell. And normally I've got a big motorhome, and that's normally here. We go out there, I fire up the generator, satellite TV. We live like normal. But, the motorhome is out of state right now. And so we had to sit in the house in the dark, oil lamps. But luckily we're prepared for that kind of stuff. I got a backup generator. We've got lots of oil lamps and battery powered lamps. And we were good. I had internet after a while, but the generator was so loud outside, I didn't want to do a live stream. And by the time I got it all set up, it was too late to do it. So I was going to do it last week, and that happened. And now this happens. But anyhow, we're going to cover a lot of stuff. I'll jump back in here for you guys that are in here and tell you what we got going on. So, about 2 hours after I end this live stream tonight, we have a video coming out on the Beretta 1301 tactical LE shotgun, law enforcement shotgun. I'm pretty sure they just came out. They may have been out. Unlike the regular one, it's got an extended mag, pistol grip stock by something tactical. Can't remember. Starts with a Y. From Arizona. I forget the name of the town, but anyways, it's got that stock on it, and ghost ring sights. Really, really nice shotgun. And God, this thing just rocks. I don't know if you guys heard what I was talking before when the stream went dead, but I can't remember the last time I had this much fun with my clothes on. For that matter, I can't I shoot a lot of trap, and I can't remember the last time I had so much fun with a shotgun. We were hammering 3-inch slugs at 100 yards. I hadn't even sighted it in, and just lobbing those things in and just pounding the hell out of the steel plate. You can just hear it just pang, and the thing flies 2 feet back. And as it's coming back down, hit it again, and it sends the plate sideways. I mean, it's just like lobbing friggin' cannonballs out there. And it hits so hard. Back when I lived in Illinois, they only allow you to deer hunt here with slugs, no rifles. And so I really never did. We always went to another state to hunt. I always thought, slugs, but let me tell you, it's nothing to hit with them with iron sights at 100 yards. And I'd have matter of fact, I may hunt deer this year with balls. It's an 18.5-inch barrel. The fireballs come out. You see the gas ignites, and then that flame comes and then gets big again. So it's like something out of a movie, just really cool. And unfortunately, I to the fireballs because I was the muzzle of the gun was like up toward the end of the screen, but you can get the idea. The 2 3/4-inch slugs are actually better on video because the blast isn't as loud and they're not as fast. So there's a little more time between the blast and the ping. I shot the first one. I'm like, that's weird. I missed. But it was buckshot. My buddy that was there caught it. He says, hey, you're shooting buckshot. And I could see it hitting the sand berm behind it. And it was stringing perfectly level with the target. So I was on target. And on each side, you would think the spread of buckshot at 100 yards would be huge, right? But it was only about 4 feet on either side of an IPSC size target. So it was just pretty damn cool. And I'm damn sure that 00 buck hit hard enough at 100 to take a deer down. And if that deer was running sideways, you got like an 8-foot area to just swing on them and hit a couple rounds, whatever. Etiquette in deer hunting, but the slugs certainly, it's like 0.5 pounds or 6.14 pounds, 18.5-inch barrel, the ghost ring sights, no chokes in it. I was a little disappointed by that. Not that I would probably run anything other than cylinder bore anyways with slugs and buckshot, but it'd be nice if I wanted to. I think they may come with it, but some people are saying the LE versions only come with no choke. So being so light, you think the recoil would be bad, but those 3-inch slugs is non-existent. I mean, it really ran well. Now, here's the kicker. The day before, we had an open house at my gun club. And what we do is the public's invited, and anybody can come. The club and the NRA supply the ammo. I was working the 3-gun area, and the club members working that area will bring their personal firearms. So pistols, rifles, shotguns. I brought my Vepr and that Beretta. Oh, here we go again. What did I say? NRA? Did that do it? I'm going to keep going. You guys, it's lagging real bad. I can't believe this. Anyhow, we you guys wanted to shoot that shotgun, and I'm like, I hadn't shot it yet. I'm like, guys, can I shoot it first? I look at the ammo they had brought out, and it was birdshot. And it wasn't even like normal trap loads. It was way lighter. It was 2.5 dram. Now, I've never run that even in my guns that'll run it. I knew it wouldn't run the Vepr, but I put it in that thing and it ran flawless. All total, I think we ran 750 rounds for the day, about 300 to 400 of which went through that gun. And it just ran flawless. When I took it apart, it was amazing how clean it was inside. I can't tell you how impressed I am with this thing. Now, here's the kicker. I told you I brought the Vepr. Just for kicks, I threw some of those weak 2.5 dram. I mean, that's got to be under 1,200 feet per second, probably 1,150, 1,100. It ran the Vepr flawlessly. So the work I've done on that Vepr has really paid off. And I don't know of any Veprs running loads that light. So maybe I'm onto something there. Maybe I can market that for guys with Veprs wanting to do it, use them for 3-gun. So we will see. But man, what a fun shotgun. Just incredible. We had a blast with it. And you'll get a whole video of that. It'll drop about 2 hours after this live stream. And we'll see. Let's check into the chat here and see who's here. Of course, Joe is here. He says, hey, Rock, good to see you. And then he also said that he got himself a Rock Island AG-12 Defender pump on sale. Awesome. Everything I've touched from Rock Island Armory is it Army? Rock Island? Yeah, Rock Island Armory. Or Arsenal. I don't know. The real one is Arsenal, I think. Anyhow, anything they've put out has been wonderful. We've got one of their base GI 1911s with the plain wood grips and the plain parkerizing, and it's been nothing short of phenomenal. Their VR80 shotgun that I have, phenomenal. The thing, it just runs and runs. Anything they put their name on seems to be good. And I can't imagine that, but their pumps being any different. I'm sure they're great. Let's see who else is in here. MZ is back. Archil, much better, he said, for the stream. I don't know about now. It says it's unstable. We'll see. Hopefully it's doing well. Joe, I'm glad to see you back, man. How you been? I've been okay, just okay. I'm better. Have those moments, just about every day when something hits you and you think about it. Him and his fiance had their anniversary yesterday or the day before, and she posted some stuff and she came over. We went to dinner, and that was hard. And my wife cries every day still. She's not in a good place yet. So I'm hoping that it gets better. I do the best I can for her. And maybe you guys throw a few prayers out there for her, because I just see how hard it is for her. But anyhow, yeah, it's going better. I mean, that's all I can say. I don't know if it ever gets perfect. I doubt it, but it's getting better. I just miss them so much. That's all. Anyhow, that's enough of that. So Archie said it's fine for him to stream. Texas Bullet, hey, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. Chase is here too. Chase Kelly, hope all is well. Yes, it is as good as can be. We're having some fun, so take my mind off of things. Joe Morgan, this says Karina on the side, made in Turkey. Yeah, they're all made in Daria, Turkey. That seems to be like the local city that does all the manufacturing over there. That's where the VR80 comes out of. I know that. Not sure on the 1911s though. It might be like over in Pakistan or whatever the towns they have building all the guns. You ever watch those videos? They got a bunch of guys sitting on a dirt floor and they got files and they're going to town. They're hand making copies of these guns. And by the time they're done, it's unbelievable. The craftsmanship they must have from just years and decades of doing those things by hand is just amazing. Amazing. And I'm sure they slap them out. I've seen some in person, and some can be kind of rough, but others can be damn near perfect. Anyhow, really cool stuff. Dan Dude 2010. Good evening, fellas. Good evening to you. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you showing up. So if you just got in here, we're talking about a video I got coming out tonight on the Beretta 1301 Tactical Law Enforcement version. So that's a really good video. You'll like it. And I never recommend stuff this highly. It's just remarkable. So fast, so quick. It's everything I've been looking for in a true tactical gun. You know, I got my Vepr, I got the VR80, but from a patrol, law enforcement, military side, this thing, God, I could hunt with it. I could do anything with it. It's just amazing. And the fit and finish, these Italians, that, man, they do it. Let me tell you, everything in there is so polished and so perfect and so well fit and silent and everything. So just really cool. And of course, we put one of our Holosun 310Cs on there, and that works out really well. Although it seems a little for it. I may go to a similar reflex sight like that, but smaller. Although I like the big sight picture window, it just seems big on there. But you guys will tell me in the video what you think. So anyhow, let's see. Archie has a question about AKs here. Did you find any people unloading AKs for a good price with the ammo scare? I had a chance to pick up a Sega 7.62 and waited just an hour too long to pull the trigger. Was it a converted one, or was it the real deal? I wonder. I just don't. I don't have a Sega, which I know probably shocks some of you guys, but the 31s and the 21s is what I would buy. I can't get myself to buy a converted one. When 90% of the time you don't know who did it. And unless they welded up the two holes, I wouldn't want it. A lot of guys will put rivets in there, screws or something to cover the holes. But to me, relocated and all janked up, I don't know. It was sport version, yeah, but it's still worth the cost. I ran into a sport version about 2-3 years ago. I was up by my company and went to a local sporting goods or a hardware store, actually, in this little Wisconsin town. And they had a monstrous firearm department there. And they had one brand new in the box. Some old farmer bought it, not shot it, traded it in. And I was kicking it around. And then I thought, I'm not going to want to convert it and all that. So why bother? And I passed on it. It was a good price, too. So I probably should have done it, but oh well. Anyhow, what else? I started saying you guys saw the second edition of the My Favorite AKs Volume 2, and that was on the Chinese Bakelite side folder. So episode number 1 was the SLR 107 series. Both were side folders, actually. One was my Krebs rifle, and one was just a 107 FR with a triangle stock, which I love. I just like those guns. Really nice. So they're in my top 5. Now that Chinese one, the Bakelite side folders, in my top 5. And if you haven't seen the video, we showed all the accessories that go with it, the Chinese chest rig, some Bakelite mags, some flatbacks, the oil bottle, the bayonet, the matching clip on the bayonet, which is hard to find. Just all the stuff I got for it. I still would like to get, I said it in the video, but I'll talk about it a little more here. I would like to get 2 more Bakelite mags. I've had the opportunity and bid on them and whatever, and just waited too long or didn't bid enough, was trying to get them cheap and ended up missing them. They used to go, well, the first one I got for $10 back in the day. The second one I think I paid $100 for. Now they're $150, and I see them even $200, but they're never going to get cheaper than today, I guess. So I'm going to get 2 more. That way it fills the 3 spots in the chest rig and 1 in the gun. And it really looks good when that thing is decked out with the Bakelite bayonet on there and the mag and everything. God, it's just gorgeous. Really pretty. I always said that gun recoiled harder than other AK variants that I have. And this time around, shooting it for that video, first of all, if you watch that video, I start out, there's a little ring of sweat here, and you see it through the video. It's growing, 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 growing. The whole front of me is just soaked. My hair's dripping. It was so hot and so humid. It was ridiculous. And, but kept shooting. And I'll tell you what, the recoil, I didn't notice it as bad it just used to seem very sharp, but it was not. It shot really well. It did. I'll tell you what, I never noticed this shooting it before. And I've shot it. I probably, if you guys have seen that video, I probably ran, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 mags through it. And that's just what was on camera. We ran some more, but even like 2 mags in, and I wasn't mag dumping or anything. I mean, I'm going to shoot that gun. Some people probably have a heart attack that I'm shooting that gun because it's so rare, but I figure why not? If I can't shoot it, I don't want it. And I know by no means beat on it. I'm not going to overheat the gun or anything, but that gun got so damn hot after like a mag and a half, maybe 2 mags. Through the handguard, I could feel it coming, and that's a pretty heavy barrel, and it's not a bulge trunnion gun, but the Chinese stamp guns are thicker than the normal stamp gun, but they're like 1 millimeter, I think, something like that. And it got so damn hot, I stopped shooting it. I put it down for a while, and it took a long time for it to cool off because it was just so hot out there. But it ran flawlessly, double hook Chinese trigger, so really nice out of the factory. And it was like a laser beam. I mean, that thing just pow, 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 right on. Fun to shoot. The only thing I noticed, I don't know if it was because of the heat or what, but I never noticed this before, but the gas, those things are overgassed. Let's face it, almost all AKs are overgassed. That's what partially makes them reliable as they are. But you can see me when I'm shooting kind of fast. I don't know, just 3-4 rounds real quick. You see my eyes get real big, and that's because the gas going in my eyes burning the hell. You'd swear I had a suppressor on them. But if you notice, the Chinese guns have the holes in the gas tube to relieve some of the gas there. And but it felt like it was coming out the top cover. I don't know. But yeah, that was a fun video. So that was second in our series. I have the third in our series done. I'm going to leave that as a surprise, but definitely some of my favorites. That's why I had to do a series of 5, guys. I can't call my favorite. I really can't. But these guns, there's 2 that I have in this particular variant or country, and I love them both. And I'll never get rid of them. Great, great rifles. And you guys will like that. I'll have that probably come out. Maybe I'll finish it up tomorrow and put it out Thursday or Friday, maybe earlier. We'll see. I've been dumping videos quick. I should string them out a bit, but what the heck. Let's check in the comments here because I saw a bunch. I put in the original description of the live stream that I was going to do some questions and answers. So if I can answer any questions about AKs, about anything, or issues you're having, any tips you need, what works with what doesn't, throw them in here and I'll answer them real quick. Please, guys, while you're in here, hit the like button. The likes help us. We got 13 people in here, 5 likes. So hit the like button if you could. Also, if you can, please feel free to throw some super chats our way. The cost of ammo now is just absolutely ridiculous. I never worried much. And then the last couple outings with the way things have gotten, man, I'm feeling the crunch on it. But anything can help. And if you can't, that's okay too. Hang out. I get it. Trust me. Been there, done that. I get it. Help when you can and enjoy when you can. So that's all. Let's see. Chase, we said hi to. Joe, we talked about where yours came from. Oh, so that's an 870 clone you bought, Joe, that Turkish shotgun. So I got another shotgun video. I don't know why I got on shotguns all of a sudden. The Vepr shotgun, the VR80, the Beretta, and a bunch of years ago, I don't know if I told you guys about this in a stream, a bunch of years ago, I got a gift certificate for Christmas from Cabela's. It was a $200 gift certificate. So I go to Cabela's just seeing what I can buy for $200, but it was one of those trips where, man, I'd really like a firearm with that, you know, but $200, what are you going to get? Now, this was probably 8-10 years ago, so you can find stuff. I mean, that was back when Mosins were $69 or $99, and you could find something, but you had to look a bit. And it was Christmas, and well, back then I was broke, so broke I couldn't pay attention, so I couldn't add any money to it. My wife would have killed me, and so I had $200 to spend. So I'm there at Cabela's looking, and they've got this shotgun up there, and it's tactical, right? Extended mag tube, regular stock, but all black, short barrel. It's got chokes, and it's got something really cool. You pull back, it's a pump. It's a copy of an 870. You pull back, but when you let it go, the fore-end springs back. You guys probably have seen these. It's made by Tristar, and Tristar was one of the original Turkish importers here, one of the first ones you saw back in the day. And since then, they've actually become a pretty good name in the business, and they make pretty decent stuff. Even some of their trap guns, they got nice walnut on them, pretty nice guns. So it was like $199 or $179 plus tax. It was right at $200. And I'm messing with it. And I thought, what the heck? It's kind of cool. I thought the extended mag tube's cool. So I get it home, and I go to load the shells in, and you put 3 in, and it won't go any further. I'm thinking, there must be a plug. I look, you can't take the tube apart. The extension doesn't screw on. It goes all the way up. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Well, it was a faux mag tube. They had crimped the mag tube down just the tiniest bit, just necked it down so you couldn't get any more in there. And I thought, ain't this a bunch of crap? So I spent a lot of time figuring out how to make it work. I was online searching, couldn't figure it out. Some guy said, well, unscrew the mag tube out of the gun and pound a socket through it. It's only aluminum. It'll open up. I could not get the mag tube off. I thought maybe it's soldered. I heated. I did. I couldn't. I ended up screwing up the mag tube so bad. I got pissed off, threw it in the corner, and it sat for a year or two. I finally thought, well, I'm going to cut it off right at the threads. There was a cap that threaded on so you could get the barrel off, but all it did was hold the barrel on. It didn't hold the tube or anything on. So I took a hacksaw, I cut it off right at those threads, thinking, well, worst case scenario, I can at least find a cap maybe that fits, or a mag extension from an 870. I searched and searched. None of the ones at the time, the thread wasn't the same for the extended mag tubes. Again, pissed off, threw it in the corner. This time it sat 6, 7, 8 years probably. And from time to time, I'd see it laying there thinking, man, it's probably rusting the hell over there. But I finally grabbed it, and I was at a local store, and I saw a mag tube extension for an 870, and this was a Carlson. And I thought, I haven't seen one of those, and it looked like a quality piece. I had heard the name. Don't you know, it screwed right on. Now, it didn't screw all. The barrel had some movement, so I had to trim a little more on the threads and get it all on there. It came with the clamp to clamp the mag tube to the barrel. Put it all together, and I got a really nice sling I like on there. And it just came out really cool. It's got a rifle blade sight at the front, and we had never really shot it before. So I got a video coming out on that, and something funny happened. I'll tell you now. I'm slamming some clay birds, like 8 of them, just boom, boom. The thing ran really well. And all of a sudden I'm talking into the camera, and I'm looking in the screen of the camera, and I go, what the heck? The front sight had blown right off it. So there's your quality for you, right? So I'm going to have to solder that back on. But the follower in the mag tube is sticking a little bit in it. So I got to work that out. And other than that, it runs really, really well. So it'll be a neat video. You'll get to see a real total entry-level tactical gun, and then that Beretta, which frankly, I think I like it better than the Benelli. We're still going to add a Benelli M4. Again, an LE with the adjustable stock and all. I'm waiting for an LE, but man, that's twice the price. So for now, this is a place taker, a placeholder, but it's not really a placeholder because I'll never get rid of it, or the M4 will not substitute for it. It's going to stay. I love that gun. A local FFL that I do a lot of business with lately. Originally, I had walked into that shop and I was looking for a Benelli, and one of the guys there told me about this, that he owned one. And how he got me was, man, I got an OD green one, and he brought his in one day, and I stopped in and I saw it, and I'm like, oh man, I got to have that. I'm like, if you get one of those OD, save it for me. I'll buy it. And the shop is called Select Fire, guys. It's in Waukesha. If you ever get down that way, it's a neat shop. Lots of stuff, always full up on all kinds of good stuff. Steve is one of the managers, and he's just a good dude. And he's way in AKs too. He probably knows more than I do on a lot of them. And it's fun to go in and talk with them. They get stashes of stuff like Bakelite Mags. You never know what you're going to find when you go in there. Last time I walked in, he had a bunch of Chinese flatbacks, tons of AKs for sale on the walls. Anything you can imagine. Just really, really nice stuff. A lot of it too, and always got ammo and everything else. So if you get a chance, they're straight up dudes. Just go in and check them out. I didn't tell you who they were before, and then Steve messaged me and said, yeah, it's no problem. You can say it on there. So I do. It's not often you find a shop with a bunch of guys that are not assholes, so to speak. We've all been to those shops where you walk in and they're holier than thou and you're a dumbass and all that kind of stuff. No, they're pretty cool. It's not to say they won't call you out if you are an idiot, but I've been privy to some pretty funny jokes, but it's always fun to go in there and stop in there. They're having a good time and they got some cool stuff. They're an SOT, so all kinds of neat stuff. You never know what you're going to find. Anyhow, one of the guys there had the green one, and he just talked up a storm. He was doing his job. He was selling the gun, but it wasn't like he was selling it. He owned that gun, and he really, really liked it. And he was showing me a different version of it. And I'm like, man, I like that. And then I saw James Reeve do a video on it, and I love James Reeves. He's funnier than hell. He makes me laugh. And he did a great video on it where he ran it at Thunder Ranch. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out because it's really cool. What a great gun. I can't say enough about it. I'm in love with this gun. I mean, you buy a gun and you go, oh, yeah, I got it. It's collectible. It's whatever. You shoot a little bit. Maybe you like it. But I really love this gun. I mean, I want to go out right now and shoot it. It's that much fun. I love running slugs through it. So anyways, I wanted to tell you about that other video of the cheap one we're going to do, and then this one will be out tonight. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. Yeah, bring on the chat, guys. Questions and all. That's where we have the most fun, over here in the chat, not listening to me ramble up a storm. Let's see what, I see one in here, and wait till I tell you this. You guys are going to get a kick out of it. So, did I find anybody unloading AKs yet? No. And I did my video on the ammo ban, and let's talk about that a little bit. And then, sorry, guys, got cold. I always got cold or allergies. Anyhow, ammo ban. Do you guys remember a guy with a YouTube channel, Rockford Ordnance, something like that, a few months ago? I said, hey, look at this new AK I bought. And it's a SAM 5, and it shoots 5.56 223. And I said, I never thought I would be owning, let alone showing on the channel, a 5.56 AK, right? It's just not my bag. But what did I say in that video? I said, one of these days, an ammo ban is going to come down. And I had a sneaking suspicion. I could feel it, And at the time I said, and I had a sneaking suspicion. I could feel it, And at the time I said, foremost, if you guys want import rifles and stuff, start buying them because they're going to go away. I had a sneaking suspicion about ammo because that's easy to shut off, but I thought it'll be a while or we'll hear something about it first. Never did. I think it was the door was going to slam like that. And for those of you thinking that it hasn't slammed, it has. I'll tell you, yes, there's going to be some for a while. Let me get into it before you start, commenting over here. Let me tell you my thoughts on it first. And I promise you I'm right on this. I promise you. I've been around for a couple of these, okay? I'm probably older than most of you, so I've seen it, and I know how it goes, and it doesn't go well. Anyhow, I had that sneaking suspicion, and I got that SAM 5, and I thought just in case, right? At least I can shoot my favorite platform and probably get ammo for, well, at least another 6 months, right? Till they ban everything. Just kidding. Slow down. Anyhow. I bought that and I said it in the video, and I guess I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Anyhow, so before we get into this about the ammo ban, I want to go through your stuff here. So that one Sega was a sport version. SAM 5 are back. I picked one up from K-Bar, kind of pricey, but well worth it. Yeah, I got one of those when they offered them to good existing customers. I waited a day late and I called, and the guy says, "No, we're out. We sold out." And then he goes, "Nah, Chris, I put one aside for you. I knew you'd be calling." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." So I got one. But back then I think they were 1,500. And then immediately when they sold out, I saw them immediately go to like 2,500 the next day. It was crazy. And I think I've seen them as high as somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500. I've seen them, and they've been selling at that. Now they brought some back in. They've been available for a little while now, at least maybe a month. I bet I saw them on the site. Nice guns, great mags. If you are looking for a 5.56 gun, I'd go grab one. I also had the opportunity to shoot with Zastava that day and run that new M90. That was the first one in the country, and I liked it. I like it a lot. I love Yugo guns, Serbian guns. They're my favorite. They were my first. I just like them. But their original 5.56 gun, what was that? The M85, I think. Whatever. I might be wrong on that, but I never liked it because it had the magwell adapter to run the AR mags, and it was plasticky and cheap and chintzy and shitty, and I just never liked that gun. I thought it was a Frankenstein. And then when this gun came out and I shot it, first of all, it's Yugo, right? Zastava, love it. I can't do any better than that for the money, I'm telling you. Second of all, it ran flawlessly. Third, it had an adjustable gas system. Really cool, right? So if it's maybe low-powered ammo, the thing's dirty, or you want to run a suppressor, hey, it's already done. The one big drawback, again, for me at least, went to the mags on it. The mags that's coming with now are kind of, I won't say waffle, but ribbed at least, and they are polymer. The ones I shot that day with them were kind of like flat, thin polymer, cheap, felt so cheap, the mags. And they had some metal ones there too. The metal ones were fine, but they're coming with polymer mags. Now, the one I've seen that's on the production guns here look better. The other drawback to me, and I realized they did it for a reason, for ballistics, is they went to a longer barrel on it. And while that's a great thing for ballistics, for getting that feet per second up there and all that good stuff, great, wonderful. But I don't like the look of it. I just don't. It's fast enough as it is to take advantage of the yaw and the tumble and the splatter and all that. I just don't like that. So somebody asked me the other day if I would buy a SAM or an M90. And I'll tell you, I would love to end up having both, and I probably will. If I were to pick one, it would be the SAM 5. First of all, the mags are They're Bulgarian waffle mags. What else needs to be said? They're the best mags on the planet. They're right there with steel mags. I mean, Romanian steel mags are fabulous. Any Comblac steel mag is great. But when you're talking about polymer and factory and original mags, the best ones are those polymer Circle 10 waffle mags, period. If I had my choice, I could only have one mag to run in everything, a be all end all that always works and I know is going to be there, and I'd stake my life on it, they'd be Bulgarian waffle mags. They're the best mags, period. A little bit pricey. They used to be $40. They crept to 45. Now I'm seeing them 45, 50, somewhere in there. But great mags. Yeah, the best. And they run exceptionally well in that gun. It's a milled gun. It's put together well. It's accurate. Great gun. That's my first choice in 5.56 AKs. Anyhow, let's see what else before we get to the ammo ban. What are they going for at KVAR now? I haven't looked. There's a subreddit sells bakes for around $90 right now, at least last time I checked last week. Yeah, dude, Bakelites, I love them. And when they were $20, $30, no problem. I remember when they went to $40, I said, you got to be kidding me. I will never pay $40 for a bake. And since that day, a few years ago, I never bought one. And then they went to 50 and 60 and 70 and 80. And I'm going, these people are nuts. And then I'm going, fuck, I wish I would have bought them, you know? I don't know. I literally have, other than my Chinese ones, I have one. Other than my Chinese ones, I have one bake. I got to buy a couple more. Maybe Steve at Select Fire put a couple aside for me. But I need a few more, at least to display in my Vepers and a few other things. So probably got to grab a couple for their $200 a pop. How ridiculous. Guys used to be able to go to any gun show and buy them like 3 for $25. You know, it was crazy. Nobody wanted them. The feed lips will crack. And they did. Junk, what do you want that for? You know, it was a joke. They'd give them to you sometimes. Anyhow, let's see. It jumped on me here. I want to, man, a lot of chat here somewhere. A lot of chat here, so I'm going to get caught up quick. Nobody unloading AKs. Haven't run into anybody, and it's not as big a deal right now, and so I don't think you're going to see too many people unloading them. You know, some people were thinking, well, the guys with 5.45 for sure will start unloading them. But I don't think it's that time yet, guys. And why do it? You can always reload. You'll always buy ammo. You're just not going to buy it cheap. Things have completely turned around. The working man's gun, the cheap $300 AK and $100 case ammo, is now the exact opposite of the AR, right? The ARs are the $400 guns and the cheap ammo, and the AKs are for rich guys now. Good thing we bought them when they were cheap, huh, guys? We can play the part. But no, I haven't seen anybody unloading them yet. I hope I do. I hope there's somebody dumb enough. Reddit sells bakes. Okay. I have sent 223 to my friend. I worked out a deal. Got his first ever AR-15. It's an ATI Omni Pro. Now he's got 6 mags and sights in 5.56, 10.5. Cool. Thoughts on the Psa AK platform? Which version or which gen? Gen 1 or Gen 27? What are they on now? I don't know. I think it was Gen 3 last I heard. FN produces some of the barrels for them. I would be here. If you can buy an import AK, buy an import AK. Period. End of story. There's plenty still available, and God knows when they go away. So you can get yourself a Zastava. You can get yourself an Arsenal. You can get yourself numerous Romanian guns, a Wasser. I'd take a Wasser over a Palmetto State Armory. Import guns are where it's at, guys. They're tried, they're true. They're made in military arsenals that have the proper equipment, have been doing it for decades and decades, and they're built to those specs. PSA builds a nice gun. Nothing wrong with it. Now that they've worked their way through things. If I were to buy one, I would buy one with the FN chrome line cold hammer forged barrel for sure, and go from there. I know enough about them to be dangerous. I've watched videos on them. I've read about them. I've shot one. They're not coming apart like they used to. They're not eating themselves alive. FN, I think the only way to get one of those AK barrels is through them. I think they have an exclusive on those AK barrels, and I wish FN would share the love a little bit for some builds, but they're okay. They've passed the test, so to speak. I haven't read much about their 545, and I'd like to, but I haven't looked into it too much. If that's what you like and that's what you want, by all means, buy one. But like I said, if you were going to buy one, get the one, spend a little extra and get that barrel. Or go get the import gun. You'll be happy down the road, I promise you, because they will go away one day, and they never go down in value. Guys, every AK variant I've bought is damn near, at this point, at minimum, I've doubled my money. And in some, I've made 10 times my money. They never go down. It's crazy. But the average one, probably, I've at least doubled my money. And that's in a very short time period. It is by far my best, most lucrative investments of anything I'm invested in. And that's not why I do it, but I'm just telling you, you'll never go wrong with it. Use it on your wife, and you can prove it, but not that you're going to sell it. Anyhow, Mike W, PSA is junk. They're not junk. They're all right. Palmetto, hey, guys, if anything, give PSA props for what they're doing, whether it's the AK or their ARs. Look what they did for the AR platform. They took, they made America's gun. They made it affordable. You could get 3 ARs. Look what they did for the AR platform. They took, they made America's gun. They made it affordable. $350, maybe $400 AR. And the key to the success of the Second Amendment and everything we fight for is volume, so to speak. Get one in everyone's hands. The more people that have them, the more commonplace they are, the better it is for us. And he's managed to do that, made here in the U.S. and made affordably and with quality. It's hard to knock his ARs. I mean, they work. They work. There's nothing wrong with them. Good stuff. So don't just sign off that they're junk. Like I said, I take an import over them, yes, but I wouldn't call them junk. Anyhow, Joe wants to know, Jim, hold on. I'm almost there, Joe. I already jammed my thumb where Google likes it. Joe, how do I go about extending that tube? Will the 870 go on after threads trim? I freed the spring. Yeah, try that Carlton or Carlson, whatever it is, and just keep the package nice. So if you have to return it, you're just going to have to try a few and see how it fits. I don't know if you'll have to trim yours. If yours is set up like a regular 870 with just the cap, at the end, it'll probably work just fine. So check it out. These Cobras, these Tristar Cobra shotguns were just a little weird. There was nothing that, they were just enough different in that area that nothing seemed to work for a while. MZ picked up some Norma 76239 in brass. Has anyone seen it on the shelf? I did see it on the shelf. Where did I see Norma? And I should have bought it. It was a bit pricey, but damn, I should have bought it because I need the brass. I'm looking for 762 by 3900 round bags of Winchester brass or whatever, because I got the dies and everything. I can start reloading it, but I only have about 80 rounds of brass. And that Norma stuff wasn't bad. Where did I see it? That's going to bug me now. But I knew I should have bought some. This was before the ban. I saw it somewhere. Can't remember where. But if I see it again, I'll definitely grab some. It's good ammo. Norma, don't even worry about it. Norma's good ammo. You were right about imports, Rock. I'm really glad I listened to you because I'd be screwed if I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't that. It was not like I'm some friggin' genius or something. It just, you could feel it coming, guys. You knew something was going to happen. Do you think he was joking when he said, we're going to take your blah, 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 blah? They're not joking. They told it to you flat out. Why won't you believe them? Believe them when they tell you something. Wait, I mean, what do they tell you something? You go, nah, you're kidding. Nah, go away. You're funny. You know, they told you flat out. Buddha Dick, whatever his name was. Anyhow, let's see. Anyone know where I can get Goofa Good AK for a good price now? A Goofa Good. What's a Goofa Good? I'd still say best bang for your buck. For your buck is the Zastava. Even with the prices up there a bit, they're coming down. There's more of them out there now. Look around. The Wasser, too. It's just under $1,000 or about $1,000. I'm not seeing them with any wood, though. I'm seeing not that wood does any great shakes. You're probably better off buying it with the polymer, frankly. But I always, if I was going to buy a Wasser, I guess, even though it's crappy wood, I'd still probably get the wood one. Just to have it, and I'd replace it with something else. Matter of fact, I do need just a beater. I use beater in a different term, and not a beater. I need a beater Wasser. I just have to have a plain old Wasser because my Wasser is an original older one, not put together well. The newer ones are nicer, straighter, and I just want to have one. So I should start looking. I should have got them when they were $600 or $400. God, that wasn't long ago, guys. That was 2 years, right before COVID. I mean, stuff was so cheap. I can't even fathom it. Let's see. Let's get through these chats. Martin and Company, I am late. No, you're not. You're still here and we're still talking. I'm babbling, so you're not late. Don't worry about it. Let's see. GX19 Films, I'm rocking the M70. Way to go, dude. Awesome gun. Hard to beat the M70 in any variant, whether it's an early Zastava or a Zastava M70 kit put together by Century. Well, subsidiaries of them, or that's not the word I'm looking for, but the Zastava Century guns were great. Now this is for the money. If you don't have an AK and you're looking for a first AK, just go get yourself one. Get a ZPAP, get a Wasser. Quick, easy. Or here, also, in that same price range, get one of the Polish guns, the Fox. That's a great gun. I always leave those out for some reason. I don't know why. They're great guns. Besides Atlantic Firearms, you know where. There's a bunch of places, guys. I really can't say where. Other than my buddies I talked about earlier, they sell online and would be happy to sell to you and send it to your FFL. Anyhow, gun shops or shows I picked up as a salve at Crossroads of the West. What is Crossroads of the West? Is that a big show? I've heard of it before. What state's it in? Joe, I almost bought that M70 pistol in 32, but when I saw the nice stock on that shotgun and the price tag, I was happy to get a train. Shoot, cool. Chappie, what are your thoughts on the Romanian AK-47 battlefield pickup? Are you talking about from Atlantic? Atlantic builds nice guns. They're essentially putting together kits. And I'll tell you this, they do nice work. It's nice craftsmanship, very few problems. And if there is a problem, there's nobody better at standing behind their stuff than Atlantic Firearms. They do a great job. So Always trusted them. Good stuff. Yeah, I'd grab one of those if you wanted one, if that floated your boat. Looking at a site selling Bakelite Mags for $90. Good deal. Not bad. I mean, by my standards, I want to puke, but by today's standards, I guess that's not bad. And Bulgarian steel mags, good to go. Great mags. Guys, I'll tell you right now, if you find a deal on anything, as long as it's quality, and if it's Arsenal made, Zastava, Arsenal, Circle 10, Bulgaria, etc., grab it. Mags have not really went up yet. Bakes have, yes, but the other stuff, steels are still a steel. Grab them. It's good stuff, and you can never have enough. If you see one, you got an extra money in your pocket, buy a couple. Throw them in the big old 8-pound powder kegs. I got them filled. When I need them, I got them. That's all. Put them away. Forget about them. One day you'll make money on them. A lot of money. You can make money if you bought them like I did 10 years ago. You're making money on them now. The problem is I don't sell anything. I miss AK stuff, but life gets in the way of gun collection sometimes. Joe, you bought enough stuff, you could buy an AK. You'd have less stuff, but you could have an AK. So if you put your mind to it, you'll get an AK too. I know you will. Joe's been, working every penny he has to put stuff away, and he's done a damn good job at it with all his parts and everything. And Joe is a planner. He gets his backup parts. He's about down the road and all that. Me, I just double up things. But hey, the parts, it's a great idea. Ammo and parts, put it away, guys. Things I never thought would go away are long gone. And back in the day, we thought, they'll be here forever. You always end up something else and you forget about that. And then it happens and you go, damn, I wish I would have. Well, don't be the I wish I would have guy. Just go do it. Did you get the mag that looks like a banana? Yes, I have tons of them. I've got Palmetto State Armory had a bunch of the ones for the Scorpion. So I got those, and I love those. Those look so cool. And the guy that does them for them, it's so realistic. It's got the little brown spots on it, and the whole 9 yards. The tops are green. They fit well. They run well. I've got some of the AR ones. Believe it or not, I don't think I have any AK ones. I haven't had the ones. Believe it or not, I don't think I have any AK ones. I haven't had the opportunity to see ones. If anybody's got one, they want to dump it, let me know. What do you think of K-Bar selling the SLR 107R for $1,500? I'll tell you, I paid $795 for mine. How's that sound? Did I just say I doubled my money on just about every AK I've ever bought? Yeah, that's right on the money, right? $795, almost. Everything's $1,500 right now, guys. Everything. Z-Paps are $1,500. Wassers are $1,000. If you want a 107R, buy it. It ain't getting cheaper. It's not getting cheaper. Just buy it. At the end of the day, if it makes you happy and you have it in your hands and you've got it and nobody can take it away from you, and I mean that, nobody can take it away from you, it's yours and you're happy and you got it, and it doesn't matter that it was an extra $100 or $200 or $300. If it makes you happy and you have it and you've got it and you didn't put it off till it went away or got banned, you got it. Just buy it. Don't put it off. These aren't the times to be doing that, guys. I'm not saying doom and gloom. I'm just saying you don't know. Hey, this next summer, this winter, if it goes down to 900, buy another one. Cost average it, and you'll be in them for what? 1,100 a piece? Big deal. It doesn't matter right now. Spend the money. Let's see. You can get Bulgarian mags from AK Operators Union, and Bud's Guns might have them too. Yeah, they're all over the place. I bought a lot of stuff from AK Operators Union. I bought a bunch of stuff from him over the years. His primary arm stuff. I support other channels the best I can, and his prices are great. I bought a lot of primary arm stuff from him, all kinds of stuff. Good dude. He was in my son's National Guard unit. They were in the same National Guard unit. And my son, when he first joined up, he came home one day. This is, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. He says, Dad, you know that AK guy you like so much? Well, guess what? He said, he's in my unit, in my guard unit. I said, are you sure? He says, yeah, I'm sure. And at the time, I didn't have a channel and stuff. I said, well, if you run into him, get his autograph for me or whatever, or say hi, or say, my dad loves your channel or whatever. And my son walked up, and my son wasn't even, I think he was just a private. He was, he had like Zippo rank at all. He walked up and he said something to him. And he said the guy was talking to someone. He just turned around, looked at my son kind of weird, and laughed like it was funny. And my son didn't know what to say and whatever. He just walked away. He didn't know how to take it. I don't know him personally, Rob, but I've heard different things. I don't know. It was a weird experience, and he just left it at that. So I don't know. But I like his channel. He certainly has a lot of knowledge. I learned a lot from him over the years, and I got to hand him credit. He's got a lot to do with where the AK platform is at today in the States. So, and frankly, he's who motivated me to do this channel. So that should say enough right there, I guess. So spend some money with him. He's got a good shop. He ships super fast. His wife is on it, man. She gets that stuff to you. It's shocking how fast. Connection went unstable. I hope it's still good. Anyhow, let's see what else we got. I'm glad at least someone's making budget guns without PSA driving prices down. I'd have never had the budget AR. Yeah, right? They keep everybody honest. Nothing wrong with them. What else? Man, it keeps jumping on me. PSA AK-47 Gen 2 is awesome rifle. There you go. And I'm sure you put a lot of rounds to it. I got 1,000 of the Russian Brown Bear 7.62 39 subs. Cool. You gotta save those, man. Those are going to be, I hope you got a can. Save them till you get a silencer, or trade them to somebody. If you're not specifically using subs with a can, trade them to someone for some regular rounds, because they'll be happy that they got them, and you'll get more regular 7.62 rounds for those subsonics from somebody that needs them, because those are going away. And frankly, the only other people loading subsonic AK rounds are some boutique manufacturers, and they're very, very pricey. So if you have that, and once it's not available, you could probably trade it for, I don't know, I would think it wouldn't be too long that you could probably get 1,500 rounds of regular ammo for that. I don't know, kind of guessing there, but so yeah, I don't just shoot it to shoot it if you're not shooting suppressed. There's no point really. I am going to keep it with my, sorry, I should have kept reading. Going to keep it with his gold and silver. Yeah. In my thing, I pulled out my Golden Tiger. I said, these might as well be gold bars, right? In the color they are right now. Chase, hold on. Ludwig Whitner, Century Wasser 10, Black Widow AK-47 rifle, at Atlantic. Good stuff, yeah. Chris, my second Vaquero is coming back tomorrow from Jeff Alt with Munden's 6-gun Magic. The pair will both, I can't wait to see them, dude. Chase, where are you at? Where in the country? I need somebody to teach me some cowboy shooting. That'd be fun to hang out and do some cowboy shooting. I've wanted to do it so bad. Crossroads of the West operates in Arizona, Nevada, California. Their shows. Okay, cool. Orient Fixer. Damn, no warning. Thanks, you too. No, that was me. There was warning, I guess, and then the first stream failed, and now I'm on the second one. Hopefully it holds. But hey, Orient Fixer's in the house. Good. I'm glad you're here. Jose Moreno's here too. M70AB2, my first gun ever. His first too. Solid shooter plus the underfolder has such a classic look. It does, and those guns are built like tanks, brick shit houses. And they're awesome. They just keep running. And if yours is anything like mine, it's smooth as glass. And the more you shoot it, the smoother it gets. It's awesome. Awesome. I love mine. Joe, yep, extra mags parts, decent ammo, upgrade parts. Yep, keep it rolling. That's awesome. Chase, thanks, Joe. First is the smoothest revolver I've ever touched. I love my Caro too. It's so much fun to shoot. I load some cool rounds for it. And I want a matching pair too. There's been other things right now. Chase Kelly, I'm in Virginia, man, but would love to plan a trip one day to head your way. I'm heading to Europe soon, guys. Haven't told you. I'll be over in Leprechaun Land here in the very near future. So between jet lag and everything else, you might not see me for a week or two. Just going with a good buddy of mine. After my son passed away, he's one of my best friends, or my best friend. And after the memorial, he just said, "Hey, you know what? Don't make any plans for these dates." He said, "We're heading to Ireland, just a guy's trip, and we're going to go have fun." So we're going to the Guinness factory. We're going to the what's the whiskey factory? The hell is that Irish whiskey? I don't know. But yeah, we're going to check all that out, and some pubs, and I want to see some castles and some cool. I like old stuff. I like history. So I want to see some castles and all that crap. Head up into the Highlands. The Bushels, no, not the more popular one. I can't remember. It's on it. My memory sucks, guys, lately. It's because I don't get enough sleep. Anyhow, okay. So I'm caught up in the chat, I think. Visited Ireland twice in the Navy. Loved local pubs. No, it's not that. What's the one? I'm losing my mind. It's so normal, mainstream. I can't even believe you guys have Jameson. Yes, we're going to the Jameson factory. So I'll be in. What towns are we going to? Dublin and what's the other city where basically the north-south border thing goes on there, went on there. Going to be there too. And then we're going to get out into the country. So I don't remember, Rock. I used to drink too much. Me too. Don't worry. I drank enough whiskey for all of you. Trust me. Back in the day, I shouldn't say whiskey. I drank bourbon. I like bourbon. Now today, if I right now said, man, I want to put a buzz on tonight, I'm going to go up and mix a drink. I would get the first one down, and I'd mix the second one, and I'd start drinking that. I'd get about halfway through it, and I'd have such a headache. I'd have to say, damn, I can't drink anymore. I can't get drunk anymore. I get a headache before I guess I got to just go faster or something. I don't know. It used to be get home on a Saturday night after working the whole week, take a big old water glass this tall, fill it with ice, fill it all the way to the top except that much with bourbon and ice, and then that much Coke for a little color, and wham. And me and my neighbor would go to his fire pit, and we'd finish off a handle in an hour, the two of us, and then keep on going. That was the primer. We had a lot of fun, let me tell you. But laughing leads to crying, right? As my mother would always say. Archie's a Scot. I'm just going to call you Archie because I don't know how you pronounce it. I keep wanting to say like Archangel, but I don't know. Anyways, and don't take this personally. It's kind of just a joke I have because of one or two guys I knew back in the day. But anybody that tells you they like scotch is full of it, because it is the nastiest, worst tasting crap on the planet. A little scotch and water, please. I think they order it just to put their pinky in the air, Scotch, neat. Neat. Jeez. I was a bartender, so back in the day in college. So I used to see this crap, and I knew some guys would order stuff just to see how they looked and sounded when they did the order. Anyhow, I'm not saying that's you. I joke about it all the time, but it is, God, ugh. And I like whiskey. I can't drink that stuff. Yuck, 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 yuck. That was my problem when I started drinking like a half gallon a day. Had to put it down. Half gallon a day. Holy cow. I wouldn't get out of bed for a week. Well, I always made it to, that wasn't my problem. I could get up in the morning, no problem. Ireland is all OD green, so you should like it. That's the best comment. You get the best comment of the day award. That's hilarious. Yeah, the only thing that could make that Beretta shotgun better is if I had gotten the OD green one, but they don't make that in the LE, so you don't get the tube. But what I should do is send it out for Cerakote. God, it looks so good. You got to. I don't know the one guy's name at Select Fire, but I'm going to have to find out. I know Steve because I talk to him the most. But I started to tell you, it wasn't him being a salesman. He was just telling me the truth and how much he liked it and how well it ran. And that comes across, guys. If you're selling something, if you like something yourself and you use it every day and it comes through, and I could just tell this thing was awesome. And it is. I'm so happy he talked me into it because I was waiting on a M4. Also, never with water. As for my name, you're right. Arc Ale. Arc Ale? Okay, Arc Ale. Thank you. You cured you that bugged me all the time, calling you Archie. I still like Archie. Maybe you'll just be Archie. How's that? As long as the dizzy water, I'll slam it down. That's why I stop. I do enjoy scotch. However, you cannot go wrong. Where to go with? See, I could do. What do they say? If it's brown, put it down. Not me. I like the brown. That came out way wrong. I like brown liquor. Vodka, gin, no thank you. Can't handle it. Yeah, while we're on the topic of colors, I have a confession. I really tried to like Coyote Poo Brown. I just can't see a brown gun. It's like, meh, but I think I just haven't found the right one. I like the Desert Dirt. What AR company is that makes the Desert Dirt? That's nicer. It's a little darker. I like God, I can't stop saying OD, but I like Flat Dark Earth. Matter of fact, I only have 1 or 2 guns in tan. I'd like to have some more, but Archie is more than fine. Okay. Given the current political climate, would you buy a SAM 7 K44 or the Galil Ace? I'd buy the SAM 7 K44 in a heartbeat over the Galil. Here's why. Just slightly, I see maybe the Galil being here a bit longer, but you got to have that 44. It's one of the coolest ones I own. I love it. I would get that first. I don't have a Galil Ace. Nice gun. Might do one. Might do a Krebs one. I don't know. I got to go see. Oh, while we're on that, guys, I am that close to 5,000 subscribers. I don't know what happened. We should have been at 10,000. I mean, things were just flying, right? And all of a sudden, all the crap with the political climate, shadow banning, all that other stuff started happening, and it stalled so hard. I knew because I was cranking. I mean, you guys saw it for a while going, and then it just cut off. And now it's like been months and months and months to get 300 subscribers. I used to get that in a few days. It was crazy. So we're about to hit it. Since I haven't planned well for it, the favorite AKs thing was supposed to be part of it. If I can still work that in, we will. but I got to give Mr. Krebs a call and see. I'm going to try and get over there to do an interview with him, and we'll kind of do I'll come up with something, and we'll do a drawing where he picks the winner for a 5,000 round giveaway, subscriber giveaway. And I'm sure you guys will be really happy. It's going to be some AK stuff. So I thank y'all. If you know, share it. Get your buddies to subscribe. Get some super chats going in here, guys. Whatever you can do, we appreciate it. We really do. Everything you see is self-funded here. Every bit of it is self-funded. I get no help from nobody. So it's certainly appreciated. That Patriot Brown, POF. What's POF? Patriot Brown. Where have I seen that? What company is POF? I'm terrible with abbreviations. Brown is good for my underwear and bed sheets. Don't ask. Sick bastards. Okay, so let's talk about the Russian ammo ban, okay? And what it truly is, what effects we're going to see, and how it's all going to shake out. So the news comes out. I wake up, I think it was last Friday, right? I wake up, I took a nap that night, and I wake up to 2AEDU, his stream. And it says Russian ammo ban. And I thought, am I on an old one? He's talking about something. It must have switched over or something. And I'm listening to him, and oh shit, no, it's real. I start checking. I read the news. It's there. I dropped everything. Sorry to AEDU if you're in here. I'm sorry. I went off of your stream. I wasn't panicking, but I just knew prices were going to go up. So I jumped right over to my favorite site and ordered up 3,000 rounds. And it was already had went up. But when I checked back an hour later, they were out. So that came already. So that's good. Some people then, within the last week after the announcement, have come back with other videos saying, oh, don't worry. Don't listen to these guys. It's not going away. It's not as bad. And if you read it, it's not really a ban. It's not really a ban. Stop. Here's what I think they're doing, because either it's wishful thinking, or they're just plain ass dumb, or they're too young and have never been through it before, or they're trying to stop the panic buying so we don't see another surge. Maybe they're trying to, I think they're trying to quell any panic so people aren't running out buying everything up and the price doesn't go up anymore. I think that's what they're trying to do. But here's the deal on it. So most of you know that it is what it is. Biden put the ban out there. It's for 12 months. I'm gonna state a few of the facts here. It's for 12 months right now, okay? And it says they may get rid of it if Russia meets certain conditions. Get into that. It's also does not affect current import licenses, Form 6s that are already in. It does, however, because some channels were saying, oh, if you get it in before the 7th, you're good. No, you're not. Anything that's already in but in pending status is not going to get it. They're already saying it's not going to happen. I'll come up with the verbiage they used. So anything that's sitting there pending, it's not going to happen. Anything new coming in up until the 7th or after the 7th, not going to happen. So forget about that. It already had to be in and approved, and then those will be allowed to go through. So we'll touch on that first. An importer puts in Form 6, and he says, I intend to purchase 20 million rounds from XYZ company in Russia, imported here, and yada, 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 all the other stuff. They approve it, and it's in place. That is not necessarily one order. They last, it's a year or 2 years. I forget, you have to renew them. I think it's 2. But, as you bring in 1 million here, 5 million there, 8 million, that is going down. When you get to the limit you stated on that form, it's got to be renewed, or there's also a time limit to it. So there's probably plenty of ones that are approved out there, so it will keep flowing. I'm going to guesstimate another 2 years, okay? So it's not going to suddenly be gone from the shelves. Plus, there's probably, it's kind of a hit because had this happened before COVID and everything, you probably would have had much bigger stockpile. But some is back, so you've got some distributors / importers that have it on the shelves. There's probably plenty of import permits in place right now. Ships loaded, it's on the way, what have you. And then any to come over the next year or two. And it's large amounts too, guys. They don't mamsy-pamsy around with it. So there'll be plenty of that coming. But as that draws closer and closer, you're going to see it get shorter and shorter and prices go up and up. Now, it had jumped in 2 hours from when I first saw it and got my last order in. It had jumped from about $369 to about $445. And then it went from there. It's kind of stabilized right now. Is it going to get any cheaper? I doubt it. At least not now. Are there other suppliers out there? Plenty of countries out there with 762, both commercial and military. Romania could step in. The former Yugoslavia, Serbia could step in. I'll tell you who I think should and could step in is Aguila. They make nice ammo. They're situated. They're a large company with a lot of money. You may see them step in. You'll probably see some American manufacturers step in. Winchester makes brass. Winchester also has capability to make steel ammo. It's called Forge, I think, is their steel lineup. I've shot some of their 9, and it was good stuff. So Winchester has the capability to do it. Will they do steel? Maybe. It does cost a lot to ramp up. They may just concentrate on brass. Who else is out there? Romania would be a big one. There's a few other I had, but they evade me right now. But put it this way, there's plenty of countries that will step up production and or switch over lines and or start bringing more in, whether it's brass or steel. So it's not going away anytime soon. You're just going to see a price increase. But for the people hoping that the Russian will come back, that this ban will be lifted, your breath, go stand over in the corner, and we'll come get you in a little while. We'll call you little blue boy because you're going to be holding your breath a long time. It's not coming back. It's gone. Period. End of story. You might be saying, how does he know? Or, oh, sure, whatever. I know. Could I be wrong? Maybe, but I doubt it so highly. I'd bet a whole lot of money on it. Here's why. Yes, it's in there for 12 months, and then it's going to be reevaluated. However, Congress are the ones tasked with evaluating it and or lifting the ban or keeping it in place. It's up to Congress. It's stated right in there if you read it. And there's basically 3 things that have to happen. One, Congress has to be satisfied that They have no intent on, I think it states, manufacturing and/or/slash using chemical agents, etc. But the big kicker is, forget that. I mean, okay, maybe they're satisfied because they talked to this diplomat, they have it in writing, whatever. The one that's not going to happen is it requires international inspectors to go into the country, into Russia, and inspect whatever they want. It can't be, held up in any way. If they want to see it, they have to be allowed to see it. And these plants or chemical plants or what have you. And if they can't, it's not being lifted. Well, guess what? They will be ice skating on the river Styx before Russia lets inspectors into their country. It's not happening. Say goodbye. End of story. You can listen to anybody you want and tell me whatever you want. I promise you, it's not happening. They're not letting anyone in. Russia doesn't do that. So, could it end some other way if a right-leaning president were to get in? Legally, I don't know if he can lift it, but if he could, I suppose that could happen. But you would probably have a better chance of that happening than Russia meeting those meeting the qualifications that they're asking for it to be lifted. Not going to happen. So it's gone. It's not coming from Russia. They can't make it there, ship it somewhere else, and then ship it here. If it's made or shipped from anywhere in Russia to anywhere else, even though there's a stop-off point, it can't come in. They've got it locked up, lock, stock, and barrel. You're not going to get a version of War Dogs, repackaging, not going to happen. Let's say Russia goes out and builds a plant in some other country. If it's connected with these other companies, not happening. Could they fund it on the side? Could there be backdoor deals, kind of like the Kalashnikovs USA thing? Sure, it could happen. You may see that. It's certainly, in my opinion, profitable enough for some big players to jump in. I'll tell you what, I think it's even profitable enough for some investors to put something together here to make it. It would be extremely lucrative. Yes, expensive to set up, but in the long run, next to 5.56, there's a lot of 7.62 shot in this country, boy. Let me tell you. So, your break-even point may be a little longer, but it certainly can be done here in the right state, in the right tax conditions. I would invest in that, opening a plant here to do nothing but steel case for these, for ARs, AKs, 9mm, all that stuff. Absolutely. Then you've heard some guys kick around the numbers that I put out there and that others have put out there. You've heard 40% and you've heard 4%. And within a couple of days, I don't even know what channel it was, some guy saying, oh, I misquoted and this guy's saying it's 40% of the market. I'm right. I promise you I'm right. I looked it up. He's wrong in the fact that what I said was Russian steel-cased ammo, or Russian ammo, accounts for 40% of all ammo sales in the U.S. Where this guy got his 4% was Russian ammo takes up 4% of retail shelf space in sporting goods stores, gun shops, this, that, the other. 4% of the shelf space. Keep in mind, most steel case and Russian ammo has been sold for years, and it was branching out even more and getting more retail space. But the majority of it is bought in bulk, online and through other sources in bulk, not through retail establishments, not through brick and mortar. So at the end of the day, Russian imports account for 40% of all ammo purchased in the U.S. Is 40% of what we shoot Russian? I would venture to guess no, because a ton of that stuff is put away by guys. So it's 40% of the sales here in this country, and that's a fact. Where they came up with this, I don't know, but they're wrong. I promise you they're wrong. So yeah, it is 40%. So that being said, it is going to affect every, no matter what it's going to affect. It's going to affect 5.56. Here, Mr. Guns and Gear was on. He said it flat out that 80% of what he shoots for his own practice, for his channel, for everything is steel case. And you'd say, wait a minute, have I ever seen him shooting steel? No, you haven't. Well, you've probably seen him shooting it, but he never took the mag and tilted it over and said, today we're shooting. No, he'll tilt the mag when he's shooting the brass, doing the ammo comparisons. That's when you see it. But when he's shooting for B-roll and stuff, just like I do or anybody other channel does, when you're shooting for B-roll, you're shooting the cheapest junk you can find. You're burning up whatever, not to say we don't shoot good ammo and brass ammo. We do. I shoot what I have to shoot to get it done. If I can shoot steel, I'll shoot steel. AR, AK, and 9mm. Tons of it. Tons and tons. Never had a gun wear from it. Never had a gun break from it. Never had an extractor issue. It's not a problem. People don't understand the annealing of it. It's damn near as soft as brass when they're done. Here's the issue that I haven't heard very many people talk about at all. And this worries me. And I think we won't find out much about it till guys start using more brass 7.62 and 5.45. Let's say we all switch over to brass. And I'm not talking military brass here. I'm talking commercial brass. I don't know that brass 7.62 by 39 is even going to run well in most of these AKs. I got a feeling that we're going to see some serious issues on getting these guns to run as well as they do on steel case, and here's why. AKs have a tendency to rip the heads right off brass ammo upon ejection. That extractor right off. You may see the brass expands better, seals better. You may start seeing brass cases sticking more. You may see guys that didn't clean an AK for 8,000 rounds start to run brass, and oops, it ain't working too well. I know this. I even have some 5.56 guns that are meant to run brass, but I hate running brass in them. Why? Because when they eject them, they destroy the shell. They dent the hell out of them. They bend them. They smash them. My IWI Tavor, the X95, destroys brass. So I can't reload it afterwards. So I hate shooting brass through it. But that gun doesn't run steel that well either. So I guess I'm stuck destroying my brass, which sucks. My FN destroys brass, even with the right gas setting, destroys it. So I hate running any of my reloaded 308 through that gun. There's a lot of things that we just don't know yet because we haven't done it yet. There is so few rounds of commercial U.S. made 7.62 by 39 run through these guns. There's just hardly anybody shoots that. You know how many times I've shot it in all these years? Once. We were way up north for a weekend or something, and we were doing some shooting, and I'm getting ready to go to the range, and I look, and for whatever reason, I had a case of 7.62 in my hands, taking it out to the trunk, and I must have set it down to do something and forgot it. I had no ammo for the AKs, and I was taking my nieces and nephews to the range and with a bunch of other people, and I had no ammo for it. So this is back when Walmart still sold ammo. I ran to the Walmart, and they always had Tula or something. I figured I'd get whatever. All they had was Winchester White Box 7.62 by 39. And it was, I thought it was expensive. By today's standards, it was the price of 20 rounds of steel case Tula right now. And I thought, I'm only buying 4 boxes of this. I can't afford this. $10.99 a box? Are you crazy? Yeah. Well, look at it now. That's a steal right now, right? I should have bought everything they had, and that's that little bit of brass I have left. Only time I've run commercial brass through any of my 7.62 guns. Never done it in all these years. Never done it in all these years. So what do you think? How much is actually run? I'll tell you how much is run. The guy that's a first timer that buys his first AK, God knows what brand, some or some M&M or whatever offbeat brand AK he buys, and he runs to Walmart or his local shop, and they've got brass ammo out there for $24.99 a box. He buys 2 boxes and heads to the range. That's the amount of brass commercial 7.62 AK ammo is shot in this country. Hardly any, ever. It's just out there for so much of it. And I'm not talking about like brass Yugo ammo. That brass is totally different. It's heavier brass. When we start running this stuff, I think we're going to see some issues. I could be wrong, but I think we'll see at least some issues. And I hope it's not a big issue. So hold your hats for that one, and nobody's talking about it. No, I keep watching all these videos hoping someone will bring it up, and they didn't. So I'm going to do an update on my Russian ammo ban video and bring that out in it, and hopefully some people will comment on it. Anyhow, let me check back in the thread here. I got to jump up a little bit because, man, you guys were commenting like crazy. Joe said that's exactly what they're doing, Rock, but they all place giant orders, I bet. They all have giant orders in, Century, all of them. You just hope they're not at the end of it. You hope they just put some big ones in before this. Usually there's some industry heads up. Somebody will whisper something, but if they do whisper it like that, it happens quick, bam, because they don't want too much. So that somebody may have let on about this a little bit, but this time I kind of doubt it. I don't know. YouTube put your stream in my main feed. Unbelievable. Wow, cool, awesome. DB Cooper. That's a first, right, DB? Anybody ever seen it in your main feed? Probably never. That's cool to hear. Hey, awesome. Good on YouTube. I don't have anything. I don't have anything against YouTube. I love YouTube. I love being on here. It's sometimes you just think you're getting the short end of the stick, sometimes. And they keep it where you don't know what to believe because you don't know. You don't know what you're doing wrong or whatever. It's because they just don't tell you. Tim Farley's here. Maybe Biden set it for 12 months so ammo manufacturers will not be sure whether to invest in the expansion. Maybe. I can guarantee you this, though. It was definitely an anti-2A move. It for sure was. For sure. Here, keep in mind one thing. This guy that they're claiming this ban was put in place for because he was poisoned, he was running against Putin. That was his opposition, right? Over a year ago. Way to be lightning fast reaction, Joe, buddy. Way to go. A year later, we get this. So tell me it's in response to that. Come on. I don't believe it, not for a minute. You couldn't convince me of it. Time frame has me worried, and I think that those guys won't ever let up. Like they won't. It's exactly like China. It's never going away, guys. Not happening. Once it's in, take any example of anything you can think of, any product, any event, anything that the government has put in place either temporarily or banned or taken away something. Tell me one occasion when they've given it back to you, either suspended the temporary whatever or given you back something they've taken away. It's like lowering taxes. Tell me, give me one example. One example. It's not happened. The Chinese stuff's never coming back. Everybody said back then it would. Never. Not come. Okay, what would you prioritize to stock up on in terms of steel ammo if you see a good deal? 223, 76, 239, 54R, or 308. There's 545 out there. Get 545 if you can get it. I'd prioritize that first if you have a 545 gun. Then for me personally, it'd be 7.62 by 39. I can reload 54R. I can only shoot it in bolt action, so it's I'm not shooting that much of it. There's other sources for it. I may reload, and it's used by a ton of countries. It'll still be coming in. I would prioritize it like this. 7.62 by 39, first and foremost, I would prioritize. And for me, I would also grab Tokarev and which is 7.62 by 25. And I would also grab some 9 by 18, some Makarov ammo. But I don't shoot a ton of it, so I'd maybe grab a case of each of it. And then I would put 223 as far as volume ahead of it, simply because I want to feed that SAM 5. I would rather shoot steel through it. It was made to shoot steel. It was designed to shoot steel. And I would rather have steel in it because, again, that gun wrecks the brass too. Unreloadable when it comes out of there. So 7 by 39 followed by 223. Well, 545 first if I had 545. So 7.62 by 39 followed by 223. Well, 545 first if I had 545 guns. I don't have, never got into it. But if you have 545, obviously get as much as you possibly can. But for me, 7.62 by 39 followed by 223. Throw in a case of a couple cases of Tokarev and a case, maybe two of Makarov. And then I would go to 9mm from there. I'd like to have a lot of the 9, a lot of it, because it was cheap. It ran. It's the best running ammo in my Scorpions. Runs great. I love 9mm steel case. Great stuff. 308. If you watch my AR-10 video, the most accurate round, other than stuff I've reloaded, that I've ever shot through that gun was Wolf Steel Case 308. I was shocked. I was blown out of my chair. It was like 4 rounds in 2 holes. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I thought, I'm going to try this stuff. It probably ain't going to run. And if it does, it's going to be a 4 or 6 inch spread, whatever. It was like a laser, that stuff. I was shocked. And I wish I had more of it now. But it was great stuff. So if you shoot a lot of 308, throw that in there. But for me, 7.62, because that's what I shoot the most of. And then followed by 223, 5.56. Anyhow, I want it all. I want as much as I can get of all of it. This sucks. It sucks. And it's not going away. It'll be there. It's just the money. They just took our hobby and tripled the price. Tripled it. And that's terrible. And that's a direct hit to us. And who knows, once that's cut out, what comes next? They just keep tapping. It's terrible. I lived through the AWB as a kid, and I'd pray you're wrong, but I know you aren't. I know. I kept saying the same thing, Joe. It's not, guys. Don't take this as a downer. Like I want this to happen. This is the last thing I want to happen. I don't want this to happen. Um, we all just want to be left alone, right? In every aspect. That's all we're asking for in all of this. Our 2A fights, our everything. Just leave me alone and let me do what I want. We're good people. We're good guys. We ain't out to hurt anybody. We're out to have fun, protect our freedoms, and protect our liberty, our families, and that's it. We're good. We're probably the best people, right? I would hope. I know you guys are. Anyhow, what else? Just hope all this COVID crap goes away. What COVID crap? There ain't no COVID crap. I don't know. It doesn't affect us up here. We don't have any mandates, nothing. What about raw components that go to other countries? Others have discussed that. I'm saying no, they will kill it. What about raw components? Oh, so you're saying if Russia were to export the steel cases and then export the primers and then export the primer and they get put together somewhere else? Possibly. It's not, I guess it depends on how it's worded. I didn't see components put in there. They mentioned firearms, which was no big deal, right? And they mentioned the ammo, but I don't know if components were named specifically. Hey, it could. It could. It wouldn't take much to just set up the actual loading plant. That's not a big deal. Yeah, like half the ammo out anywhere is Russian here. Waiting on background check for 7.62x30 CMMG MK47 Banshee 300 just arrived. The mutant, Miguel Valenzuela. So, Miguel, I was at the range on Sunday, and I met a really cool guy from Bulgaria. I'm not showing him on here, so nobody knows who he is, so I'll use his real name. His name was Danny. Super nice guy. We had some good conversation, and he was shooting some cool stuff. He was checking, and it's funny. I just no, I didn't have. I wish I had some arsenal guns there, some Bulgarian guns. I had some. I can't tell you because you'll know what my next video is, but I had some guns from other countries there, and he came over and looked at it, and AK, I shot AK in the army and this and that. And he's from Bulgaria. He's a citizen here now, and he was having a blast, and he had a mutant. And I like that gun. I've looked at it, and CMMG makes such nice stuff. And I asked him, how's it run, and how are the mags and all this, and he said it runs great. He's really happy with it. So good for you. I hope you like it when you get it. Sounds like it'll be a ton of fun. Those guns aren't that cheap either. So enjoy it. Let us know how it runs once you get it. Winchester is one of the few making steel line. Maybe that's what I said. Maybe a company like them. Way, guys, it's going to take a while to fill that hole. But time while these other orders are running out gives these other companies time to jump in and get things up and running because it doesn't happen overnight. And bottom line is not going to be as cheap. Your labor is not as cheap. You don't have the regulations in Russia like you have here. It's more expensive to manufacture anything here. So going to be pricey. Exactly. I want mine and everyone else's rights unmolested and free. Yes. Maybe the FNFAL will get cheaper now. Not mine. That was my idea, setting the components up elsewhere. Yeah, it is a good idea. It sounds solid to me. Isn't guns going to rise because of inflation? Yeah, guns. I see the gun thing more as a supply and demand thing than the inflation thing. Sure, inflation affects the value of the dollar, and as far as it goes for manufacturers, how far their dollar goes. So you'll see some that certainly will affect it. But supply and demand has a lot more to do with the pricing on guns. So, what's the best AK I can get nowadays? For your money, for best buy for the money. There's maybe better guns out there. I'd buy a Z-Pap, Zastava Z-Pap, or a Wasser, or maybe look at some of the Polish guns. There's some really nice Polish guns. They're 1,500 on down. And for that kind of money, those are probably the best 3 brands you can buy right now. All right. So we talked about the band. We talked about the shotgun, the upcoming videos. We answered a bunch of questions. I got one more thing. So this Afghanistan thing, huh? Who wants to talk about that? I know some of you guys don't. You just want to talk guns, guns, guns. But I'll make this brief because this is going to piss you off to no end. I guess maybe I knew, maybe I didn't pay attention. I really don't think I knew about this, though. So I'm watching this news story, and it kind of floored me. And then I went and checked it out myself, my own sources, my own research, and I couldn't believe it. So the president of Afghanistan, and I had it up here, but when the connection became unstable, I closed it. But I forget his name off the top of my head. Out of Afghanistan, who, as we pulled out, he booked, he left. He wasn't hanging around, and that's what everybody's blaming this debacle on, that they didn't realize that the Afghanistan army and the government would fold up and leave that quick. That's what caused all this. Do you guys know who he is, this president of Afghanistan? You know where he came from? You probably think he's some Afghanistani national that worked for this party or that party, or was a provincial governor, worked his way through the system, was liked by the people, and moved into office and voted in, right? That's the mind's eye picture you might have. Do you know who he is? I'll tell you who he is, and I can't believe it. He is, for all intents and purposes, just another, I'll say American. I don't mean American citizen, but just another American politician, friend of a politician. He taught school here in the U.S. He was a professor at Berkeley in the 80s, and most recently through the 90s and even early 2000s, I think, at Johns Hopkins University. He was a professor. That was what he did for a living. He taught school here in the U.S. His children are very Americanized, Western. They are by no means, they're not wearing the traditional garb and all that. His son looks like me or you. His daughter's actually kind of pretty and very Westernized, American clothes and everything. Guess where they live? I think they're American citizens. They live in Washington, D.C. The daughter lives on what they call Clinton Hill in about $1 million redone flat or loft. The son's married to a nice young American lady. I think her last name is Parker or something. He lives in a $1.2 million townhouse in Washington, D.C. He's married to her. What does she do? His wife is, oh man, you would die I should look it up real quick. His wife worked for, was it Pete Buttigieg? Maybe Pete Buttigieg, something like that. They are as American can be, and he was, I assume, a liberal professor. So how do you become president of Afghanistan? Let's think about that for a minute. let alone this guy booked. He checked out. The Army says, we didn't realize he had left the country. We don't know when he left or where he went. We have no idea where he is. But he left with about $100 million U.S. cash. His children, meanwhile, can't believe the news stories they're hearing. Did the U.S. put him in place? Absolutely, we did. He was our guy. They placed him, right? The powers that be, the military, the everything, placed him in that position to be the president over there, our guy, the interim guy, the elected guy, the whatever. But you don't live in the country. You know nothing about it. You're not in touch with the people. How does that work out? How do you think that's going to work? And how do you get picked for it? Do you raise your hand and say, hey, yeah, I want that job? I got to think there's some pretty good perks go along with it. Or do you think maybe some Democrat said, oh, he worked for Feinstein. He worked for Feinstein. The son worked for Feinstein. Or the son's wife worked for Feinstein. Can you believe that crap? Works for Feinstein, yet now all those guys got guns, but Feinstein's trying to take ours away. Unfriggin' believable. So who did this guy pay, or how much did he pay, or how much did he have to get and then pass out to all these politicians to get that gig? Hey, here you go. Here's your country, Mr. Professor, U.S. teacher. If that ain't the biggest, that's insane. And the only people talking about it, Tucker Carlson talked about it. Nobody else talking about it. Nothing to be said. I am beyond belief. I'm floored, because this just means, because obviously the people, the Republicans know about it. They know where he came from. The military knows. They put him in. They're all in on it, guys. They're in on it. It's the industrial war machine making money, hand over fist, 20 years over there of jet fighters, munitions, rockets, grenades, rifles, cash upon cash upon cash, warehouses filled with pallets of cash to give out to these local people to get the information they need and whatever. It's just free money, our money, that they just spend at will, have as much of it as they want. We all know it, guys. You go in as a poor politician and you end up Nancy Pelosi standing in front of 2 Sub-Zero fridges during the pandemic. Do you know what a Sub-Zero fridge costs? Forget about the designer ice cream she had in it. A Sub-Zero, I can tell you how much a Sub-Zero fridge is. They're about $13,000 a piece. She had $26,000 in refrigerators in her kitchen, in her private home. How does that happen? They make how much a year? Yeah. Oh, but my husband does. Shut up. They are all in on this. It's this industrial war machine just cranking out money through our taxpayer dollars for 20 years, spreading it everywhere. And one of their own handpicked guys is put there to hopefully run it all. Hey, if they can get it to run with this guy there, imagine the money they would have made then. But who knows? They probably got deals cut with the Taliban too. I wouldn't put it past them. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I can't. It made me so ill to think that I have to believe that the generals are in on it. Gotta believe it. So I can't even trust my own military. And that's not to say the average guy, the average guy on the front lines. I'm talking about the brass, the upper brass. I can't trust any of it anymore. I'm beyond blown away, disgusted. It's right there for you to see. Look it up. It's everywhere. There's New York Post did a story. It's everywhere. They didn't try to hide. Google's not hiding it. It's everywhere. Go look for yourself. There's pictures of them, the houses, the this, the that. It's all there. And not once in 20 years did I ever hear any of that news come out. Not one bit of it. Meanwhile, we're rah-rahing our troops, and we're crying when they show the daddy come home and he surprises his little daughter at school. She turns around and there he is. And she's missed him so much while he's been gone on his tour, right? And we've lost friends and neighbors and family, brothers, sisters, fathers. People that our friends, our family died for this. My son wanted nothing more than to get there as fast as he could and fight for this country on the front lines. And I wanted him to go. I wanted him there to prove he wanted to be there. So I wanted him there. And I wanted to be proud of him. And I wanted to stand up for everything we believe in. And I'm just floored that one Marine who he's 3 years till pension, and he spoke out that none of his leaders would take responsibility for this, and they threw him out. That's the only one they're going to fire. They're not firing any generals, not doing any of that. But this guy, because he spoke out, because he wanted some accountability from his leaders, and they threw him out on his ear. How bad do you think that guy feels right now? Or any of our military that went there and risked their lives or gave literal pieces of themselves to go over there and do what they did. And this is no knock against them. Guys, if any of you served there, I am so proud of you, and I always will be. And I'll support all of you to the end. Love each and every one of you so much. You have no idea the respect I have for y'all. And I can't even believe it. I don't know where this is going, guys. I think a lot of you guys, probably some my age out there, but probably a lot of you guys younger. And this is not a shot. I've said that a lot tonight, but there's so much for you to learn yet that you haven't seen. And it's not because you're stupid. It's not because you're not paying attention. You'll see it. It just takes time. It's not that I'm any better. I tell my guys this at work. I'm not any better than you. I don't deserve my title because I'm better or smarter or anything. I've just done the same thing a million times more than you have. Repetition. That's all. That's all it is. And you'll be there. You'll be there. You'll see it one day. It's shocking and it's terrible. And I don't know. I got to put a lot more thought into this one. This all came to me within hours or two before this stream, and it's unreal. And I guess we know it. We know it goes on. We think it goes on, but you don't have specific instances, And this is just crazy. Just crazy. What's this? Nancy with a wiener? What? You guys crack me up. I look over, the first thing in the chat, I see Nancy with a wiener on her breath. Oh, my God. Let me get back in the chat here. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it, but I want you guys to look into this. Know about it, read about it, so you can talk intelligently about it to people and spread the word and know that this stuff is going on. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's why they don't want you to have what you want to have, because you're a threat. That's why. At the end of the day, they're scared of you because they want to keep their little stranglehold. And they do it right in front of your face. They think we are so friggin' stupid that we won't see it. Hey, guys, let's take the professor dude over here from California. We got to put him over there. He's the president now. He can play president for the next few years. Nah, they won't figure it out. If they do, then nobody will believe them. Check it out. Do a search. Find his name and search where did he teach at? And then search where do his children live? You won't believe it. And then start reading the stories, and it gets worse and worse. That's just the tip of it. It's unbelievable. All right, I'm trying to back up here and read some of your stuff. So we left off at the Winchester. That white box by 39 was garbage. I tried that on my, in your SKS, and it was undersized, overpriced, and hung up. Did it? I seem to remember it running okay. But hey, I can resize it and everything and reload it. So Rock nailed it on brass. That was 17-year-old me. Yeah, when you first got your first gun, right? And you bought the gun, so now you're pulling a $5 and a couple dollar bills and some quarters, and I got enough for 2 boxes. I could go to the range today, right? Remember those days? Now you're like, shit, where am I going to put this 5,000 rounds without the old lady seeing it? Let's see. Oh, yeah, I forgot pistol calibers. Yeah. 9 Tokarev and Makarov. Makarov's fun. I can reload that, though, too. Not a big deal. Exactly what I want mine. Everyone else writes unmolested. Okay. Maybe the FFL will get cheaper. Guns going to rise. No. What's the best they have? AR-15s and so. Yeah, Joe, there's no way any of this was an accident. It was planned. Not a year later. It didn't take a year to put a sanction in effect for what this douche did a year ago that nobody cares about. Nobody cares that Putin's crew had him poisoned. Nobody gives a rat's ass. Let's go to Afghanistan and steal a Black Hawk. Hey, why not? They did. They have the largest fleet of Black Hawks outside the U.S. and one other country, I believe. How's that sound? Nothing to keep them up, though. Hopefully, yeah, maybe they did. They probably left them a warehouse of parts and a couple instruction manuals. And hell, maybe they even have a flight instructor left over there that didn't get out. And hey, Mr. Flight Instructor, show us how to run these for 6 months, and then we'll get you a nice first-class ticket out of here. Is this unbelievable? Is this unbelievable, guys? It was bad enough on its own, and now throw in this whole thing with this Afghani president. The guns had better rigor discipline. They weren't muzzle flagging everyone. They held rifles the American way. Hell yeah. Think about it, guys. Who knows? If they've done all this with all this other stuff, who knows what they've done? I don't know. Maybe they trained them. He's a co-founder of the Institute of State Effectiveness. The leaving men behind is a big deal for us. That was it's unreal. And they say, well, we don't know if they wanted to come. We tried, but they couldn't get to the airport in time. Maybe if you had some convoys, there were enough guys there to have convoys running out to get them, you could get our guys home. Iraq with the clown show leader until Iran took over. Yep. Hell, there's some SEALs on YouTube here that have some channels and blogs there up on here. And some of these guys, what they've done, I mean, they are so impressive, their credentials. And he was talking about being out in the desert on this run, and they saw these guys coming. Somebody radioed them from a drone or whatever, said, you got about 400 guys coming your way. We see them. Here's their position, this and that. They let loose on them with an air attack, and then the next morning they went to clean it up, see what happened. And he said, other than the body parts being thrown all over the desert, they were all wearing Pakistani military uniforms and outfitted with the best of the best. It goes so much deeper over there, and these guys know it. I'm surprised when they see all this that they keep fighting, because they got to know. Well, I know why they keep fighting, but they got to know that in the grand scheme of things, it's all a big setup. They're just another pawn in the machine. It's sickening. I can't even. Unbelievable. What they did is a stab in the back and betrayal, and they will get away with it until people rise up. You're absolutely correct. I thought you were going to tell us he was another Sleepy Joe's sons. Joe, Nancy with wiener on her breath, along with denture cream and vodka. Oh my God. I wish I could have you guys live on here with me. This would be friggin' hysterical. Because you guys think like I do, I keep myself very, very tame on here. But yeah, that's me all the way. That's how the conversation would go. I'm glad to be a threat to them. Rock, I had my rights to take it away from me before I was born. I was 12 years old on 9/11. Yep, you're right. Exactly it. Real Planet X videos. USA military was not created to kill indigenous people in their own land. FYI. Yeah. Ask the Indians how that worked out for them. Biden botched it. But more importantly, China going to get all of the minerals from Iraq. China is slick. China will be the one that does it. You know why? Nothing stands in their way. It doesn't matter how many have to die. It doesn't matter any of it. They'll get it done. Anyhow, guys, please do me that favor of checking that out for yourself. I don't want you to take my word for it. I barely read through it. You guys will find much, much more. I want you to educate yourselves so you can get out there and talk. I started telling you about this guy I met at the range. Super good guy. He had that mutant and everything, some ARs. And he was telling me how much, of course, he was in the Army with AKs. He's telling me how much he loves the AR and just how much better it is. It's more precise, more functional, everything about it, specifications and how well it's put together. And he goes, let's face it, it's the AK is an antiquated this and that. Yes, it is. But he's coming from a country where that was his. And now this is something he couldn't get his hands on. And it's the same for us. To us, that's history. That's why we like those guns, because of the history in them, because of the different genres that we grew up with, from video games to movies. And it's something we couldn't have, right? So we have it. We appreciate it for what it is. And it's got some real provenance to a lot of these, right? Some of the parts kits and stuff, it's the real deal. And we can appreciate all that, just like he truly appreciates our ARs. Anyhow, we got to talking about socialism because he had a big lawn sign there with him that he had at the range. Not sure if he was going to use it for a target or if he brought it for conversation, but it says socialism sucks. And I said, we started talking about it, and he said the same thing. The only people he really sees eye to eye with in this country here are people, he said, in certain age brackets. And he said it's not because of the age. He wishes that younger generations he could see more eye to eye with. But he said, when I talk to people here, if they're not 50 years old and up, they see the world completely different. They don't see the bad side of capitalism. They don't see, bad side of socialism. And it's their upbringing and their teachers and the indoctrination and all of that. And he can't believe how this country is moving and how they're asking for it to come in. And my comment to him was, I think one of the best ways we can save this country and educate the kids and the younger generations who have had a lot of this shoved down their throat or don't even know that it's been being shoved, right, all this time, is to take those who have fought so hard to get here to this country legally and through all the right lines, take those people from socialist countries and the experiences they have had there, whether they're Bulgarian, whether they're from the former USSR, whether they're from Cuba or Venezuela or any number of these countries, hell, Canada for that matter. I've got friends, due to the healthcare system there, they want nothing more than to be U.S. citizens because of something that happened with their son. And that's a whole nother story. But take these people that lived under it and lived under it and tell their story. Come on my channel and tell your story. Tell your story to the world. If you can get in schools and talk about it, but tell them what you experienced, what socialism really is, what the end game is, how it started. I asked them, and I've asked many others in his position, have you heard these phrases before? Have you heard these sentences before? Have you heard them talk about the problems in the amendment, right? And the Second Amendment? They realize the direction it's going, and they're not quite sure if they want to be the one speaking out. And that makes me very afraid, because they know how it comes, what the timeline is, what it looks like. So when they're here and they're afraid, it's probably a lot closer than we think, right? And Danny had to think twice about it. He said, I'll think about it and I'll let you know. And that worried me. And I guess that's where I'll leave that. If you guys have any friends, family that have lived it, have gotten here, and thank the Lord every day that you're here, email me, talk to me, message me. Let's get the story out there. And you should be telling your story every day to friends, coworkers, family, anybody that will listen. You guys can help a ton in saving this. There's nowhere else to go after this. Where do you run from here, guys? They had somewhere to run. We got nowhere to run. So at the end of the day, if it happens, what do? You got to fight for it, right? Hopefully it never, ever gets to that. Never want to see that, ever. Not in a million years. Don't glorify it, because it ain't what you think it's going to be. I can promise you that. Your world will be turned on its ear. You'll never be the same. Your family will be the same. Where you live will never be the same. Even if you come out on the upper end of things, it'll never be the same. You'll lose way too much. I hope he says he will, because it took much greater men than us to form this country. They risked way more than we could ever risk, right? They did it. They spoke out. They stated their demands, and they tried to negotiate. They did the best they could, as much as they could. And at the end of the day, when they couldn't, they did something about it. They said enough's enough. And you just hope that clearer minds prevail, right? At the end of the day, I don't think I think it's good versus evil, but what drives it? Power and money, right? Power and money. That's what drives it. They're not satisfied with good enough or comfortable or family and the love of family and kids and all of that. Maybe it's not until they lose some of it that they'll understand it, like losing my son. You understand what's important to you. It's family and friends and comfortable, being happy in conversations and your collections, conversations with your kids, with your mom, whatever. Those are the important things. I find it hard to believe that people can't find happiness in that.